For all the gym bros out there who work out every single day and you're watching this video because you're absolutely dying at home and you feel depressed about not going to the gym. Let me put this in perspective for you. If you're going to the gym for just 2 to 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, the way that I used to, every day, every month, for 365 days a year, that is 1,344 hours of time that you could be investing to other areas of your life. Reaching our pinnacle in life can be incredibly rewarding, but what happens when a career-threatening injury pulls us away from that pinnacle? In today's video, we will explore how to navigate life after such an injury occurs, the mental pivot, and how to take the proper steps moving forward. I once felt untouchable, reaching my peak physique, my peak health, finally the physique that I had dreamed of when I was younger and in my career. But then everybody's favorite injury, the shoulder injury. I've had one previously in the past before. I'm playing football. I've had one with weightlifting over 3 years ago, and as of recently, a new shoulder injury, almost hindering all upper body movements. So the question is, how do we cope when our primary identity and coping mechanisms are suddenly taken away? Injuries honestly go far beyond physical. They affect us emotionally and mentally on a daily basis at that. We may find ourselves avoiding food, relationships with people, slipping into depression. For many of us, sports or the gym have been our primary coping mechanism for as long as we can remember. And when that is taken away from us, it's time for a new approach. So what do? Let's dive right into it. Even when you were impaired, there's honestly a lot that you can accomplish other than going to the gym and pumping those circles. Let's talk about what you can actually do physically, because that's the first thing that I know you guys want to know about. What can you do with an injury? Should you work out with it? Should you rest? What can you do? When it comes to impairment, there's a couple of different approaches. It really depends on the severity of your injury and how fresh your injury is as well. It is recommended within the first 72 hours to a week, you completely leave your injury alone, let yourself heal, let the inflammation die down, and really just give your body a break. When it comes to a new injury within your body, you always want to give your body time to recover, recoup. Now, there are benefits to still being physically active after an injury. As we all know, blood flow does help with nutrition, as well as repairing the muscles, cartilage, and things of that such. But the severity of your injury and how new it is will play a big part into what you can do and how you can do it. So in my case, I have a shoulder injury, which has stopped me from even lifting my arm, taking shirts off, just the simplest things, honestly. But when it comes to this, over time, it's progressively gotten better and recently fluctuated back to progressively getting worse. In this case, I do need to get an MRI and figure out exactly what it is. You can't just keep running around with an injury, and if it progressively gets worse, I definitely would recommend seeking professional medical help and actually assessing what your injury is. In my case, it really would not be the best idea to try to lift through it, as I can tell from my past experience that this is, in fact, nerve damage from the loss and tingling in my arm, loss of strength in my fingers, and relaxed shoulder condition. If you have already assessed what the issue is, the best course of action you can take in the gym, you don't have to completely stop working out. You don't have to completely stop going to the gym, but you do want to make sure that you're getting the proper nutrition and the proper sleep. That is the most important thing. Give your body what it needs to heal and give your body what it needs to progress and get back to where it was beforehand. You do not want to hinder this process, but looping back to blood flow and working out. When it comes to working out, we all know that blood helps to transport nutrition that you are consuming to your muscles, damaged tissue, nerves, things of that such. So in my case, with my shoulder injury, once we have figured out what it is, you can do slight things like bar hangs. I might not be able to do a pull-up, but I can do slight stretches, maybe 2 to 5 pound shoulder raises, and just get the blood flow working, or just simply raise my arm up and down about 10 times like a regular set. Just because you can't do lateral raises for 30, 50 pounds like I can before, doesn't mean that I can't be active and doesn't mean that I cannot use it, unless a different protocol is prescribed by my doctor to avoid such movement. I know for a lot of gym bros and myself, going days without training can be rough. I will tell you guys, this is my 40th day without training, but I did hit legs the other day, so that was great. Another tip that you can do when you have an injury, try to offset whatever the injury may be. If you have spinal or nerve damage, you can still work around this. In my case, I have an upper body injury, which means I can put primary emphasis on focusing on my lower body, my cardiovascular system, and my abdominal muscle. There are ways to get around your injury without hindering your current injury. This doesn't mean try to go do some high intensity workout and make up for the extra lost sets or whatever it may be, or do the other side. But what this does mean is that you can now focus on your shortcomings that you probably did not put that much primary emphasis on beforehand. In my case, I was doing men's physique show prep. This requires very wide shoulders, big chest, strong core, but your legs are not exactly the primary emphasis in men's physique. With that being said, I will say I was lacking on my legs a little bit and pushing for the upper body look to get that nice V-tape. Definitely want to make sure that you're staying active, keeping the nutrition circulating through your body, and trying to get blood flow in one way or another. As I prescribed before, couple of different light exercises. Try to do variations of that exercise with less weight, more focus, and more control. Don't be stupid and don't damage your body any further. You really want to pay attention to the different things in your body. If you're feeling that twinge, or if you're feeling a little bit of heat buildup in that specific area, in my case, my shoulder will heat up, the nerves will tweak, it'll be throbbing or quick pain. When you do feel these things, you absolutely need to stop. Damaging your body further would be the stupidest thing that you could possibly do just because you think where you want to build more muscle. I, of all people, completely understand how it feels to be missing the gym, miss lifting weights. It's literally my job to lift weights, progress my physique to the next level. But sometimes you really do have to take a step back, assess what you're doing, and make sure that you're taking care of your body and listening to your body. I often speak about muscle-mind connection, and it is extremely important when it comes to weightlifting, but it is also extremely important when it comes to recovery and progressing forward. Whether you're taking 2 steps back and doing that big jump, or whether you're taking 1 step forward every single day, you need to listen to your body, especially in times of repair, recovery, and recuperation. Be extremely concise with everything that you're doing. Do a little bit of research, look around on YouTube, look up some questions and different exercises you can do with bands, supporting your injury, do your own therapy, or if you have the ability to do so, get therapy prescribed by your doctor. Let's talk about some of the upsides to getting injured. I do know that it sounds kind of funny, but the way that I look at life, with everything bad that happens, there's an upside. There's always a yin and a yang to every situation, and you have to find it whether you want to or not. When you do come across an injury like this, it really gives you time to focus on your shortcomings and stop looking at everything from such a physicality perspective or a vanity perspective. Obviously, it is my job to make sure that my body is in peak condition all of the time. For social media, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that right now. When it comes to these kind of situations with your physique and your body, it does give you time to focus on things a little bit less physical. Things that I've been working on in the background when it comes to video editing, or when it comes to my business, finance, educating myself a little bit more on social media. It really gives me time to spend less time in the gym and on my nutrition, which does take up a majority of my time. This really gives me time to take a step back and focus on different things in my life that could honestly use a little bit more work. Depending on how long it is, like I said, it's been about a month. I have seen muscle loss. My biceps have gotten smaller. My body looks a little bit softer. It is what it is, but I know that I'm gonna get back up, and you should too. But when it comes to building muscle, you can get it back, and muscle memory is gonna pop right back in place. What's not gonna pop back in place is if you injure yourself permanently just because you wanted to get back faster. So avoid that and shift your focus to another area of your life. If you've wanted to learn a new skill set, or if you've wanted to learn something a little less physically demanding, I would highly recommend taking this rest time to actually go self-educate yourself, practice another skill, or if you want, just lay around and let your body heal, because I'm sure for a lot of you out there, just as myself, I've been working out for the past 5 years, your body probably needs that rest. So make sure you dial in your nutrition and focus on the things that you can control. Stop focusing on what you cannot control. So within this shift of focus, this really gives you time to put as much energy to put into the new topics and new skills in your life as you did before. If you really think about it, going to the gym for 2 to 4 hours every single day. If we do the math, for all the gym bros out there who work out every single day and you're watching this video because you're absolutely dying at home and you feel depressed about not going to the gym. Let me put this in perspective for you. If you're going to the gym for just 2 to 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, the way that I used to, every day, every month, for 365 days a year, that is 1,344 hours of time that you could be investing to other areas of your life. When it comes to professionals, business owners, and millionaires, they generally say it takes about 1,000 hours to learn a new skill, and it takes about 10,000 to 20,000 hours to perfect a new skill. Now, let's take that number and divide it by 12. Let's say you're out of the gym for just a month. You are still given 5,004 minutes to practice a new skill in time that you would have been in the gym. In my opinion, getting back almost 5,000 hours of your time to focus on a new skill or a new trait that could help you alongside your fitness journey, and maybe even work on your content creation, your business, or whatever it is you may be. 5,000 hours of time a month is a lot, and if I were you, I would stop sitting around being depressed and being upset that you can't lift circles and weights, and I would reevaluate your time and reallocate it to learning a new skill or something that you're passionate about or are interested in. Now, that's just the time factor of it, but I would highly recommend making the best of your time, because you never know when your time is going to end. So take advantage of this and really think about what you want to do other than building big muscles and lifting big circles. And lastly, one of the best things that I think about having an injury, this really opens your eyes to the fact that you only have one coping mechanism in your life. And this is kind of a red flag, probably identifying that it would be a good idea during this time to develop some other healthier coping mechanisms, just in case you sustain another injury. Or like me, I do travel a lot, which means that my diet, nutrition, and gym isn't always the best, and I don't always have access to the best facilities depending on where I'm at. I will say when I very first started working out, I was not in the greatest headspace, and I would assume a lot of you were also in the same place. A lot of us who have taken our physique to the next level, or even a crazy level, it doesn't come from a place of, oh, we just love lifting circles. It's usually a hard-driven passion from a hard-driven feeling that we had before. A lot of times, these deep-driven emotions will drive us years and decades into the future and will power us through many things that most cannot endure. When it does come to coping and defining new coping mechanisms, finding a new skill, self-development, self-reflection, and really sitting there and thinking about what do you want to do with your life other than lifting circles. This really is a good opportunity for you to develop yourself in multiple different areas of your life, whether it's going to be nutritional, mental, self-development, self-love, whatever you decide to do with your time, just decide. So now everything is on you. What are you going to do with those 5,000 minutes a month that you now have back? I know for myself, I've really been working on finance and my business, especially when it comes to editing and upping my content for you guys. I've really been putting primary focus on that. I can't use my shoulder and I gotta get my legs bigger. That's what I'm doing. If you do currently have an injury, comment below what you're gonna do with those 5,004 minutes. If this video was helpful to you, be sure to subscribe to learn how to get 1% better every single day of your life. I'll see you guys in the next video.